Think about how much of your work happens online. Emails, reports, project management tools, these are the backbone of modern workplaces. But what happens when those tools aren't built for everyone? For millions of employees with disabilities, digital inaccessibility isn't just frustrating, it shuts them out of doing their jobs effectively. Hi, I'm Denis Boudreau. I work with leaders and executives who are no longer willing to overlook disability inclusion and want to transform their leadership approach from inclusive-ish to truly inclusive by championing accessibility. Let's talk about digital accessibility today. Most leaders out there simply assume that their systems work fine. That is until someone raises a flag, but by then it's already a problem. Employees hit barriers, customers walk away, and businesses lose out on valuable contributions. And the scope of this problem is massive. A 2023 study by WebAIM found that 96.3% of the top 1 million websites have accessibility issues. That means nearly every major website out there is failing real people every day, making those services largely unusable for employees and customers who have disabilities. What's even more concerning is the sheer number of accessibility barriers these users face. On average, the study shows that every homepage contains more than 50 detectable accessibility errors. That's 50 plus built-in obstacles to deal with before someone can even try to navigate a website. We're talking about common failures like low contrast text, missing text alternatives for images, unlabeled buttons, and broken form fields. Very basic things that should be easy to fix but are usually ignored. Now consider this, 27% of Canadians and Americans self-identify as having at least one disability. That's more than 1 in every 4 people, many of whom rely on digital tools to work, communicate, and access services online. When those tools aren't built with accessibility in mind, these people are effectively shut out. So where do we begin? The first thing to do is test your digital tools and platforms. Can they be used without a mouse? Do they work with screen reader technology? Are synchronized captions and alternative text descriptions in place? For those who run into such barriers, small details add up to a huge difference. But auditing alone won't fix the problem. The best way to create accessible online experiences is to involve the people who need them. Take Kaleem, for example. Kaleem's a 25-year-old Afro-Canadian science fiction author and columnist who lost most of his sight at a young age. He relies on a screen reader to navigate the web, draft articles, and manage his research. But at work, the company's content management system constantly fails him. When he logs in, his assistive technology can't interpret the layout. Menu items don't have labels, so he's forced to guess what each menu item is for. Image descriptions are missing, which creates critical gaps in content. Error messages may appear on the screen, but they are not announced by a screen reader. Tasks that should only take a few minutes can easily drag on for an hour or more, leaving frustration and discouragement in their wake. For months, Kaleem found workarounds, often asking colleagues for help, but that cost him time, independence, and confidence. Eventually, he managed to gather the courage to speak up, and thankfully his manager listened. And so the team invited him into their remediation process. This gave Kaleem the opportunity to test updates, flag pain points, and suggest better design choices. And sure enough, after a few adjustments, the system was already much more usable. Menus were labeled, form fields worked properly, and images had meaningful alt text. Not only did this empower Kaleem, but it improved the experience for any sighted user using voice navigation or keyboard shortcuts instead of a mouse. And really, that's how digital accessibility should always work. It should never be about fixing barriers after the fact. Instead, it should be about designing with inclusion in mind from the very start, so everyone can contribute their best and no one has to rely on workarounds. Or, ask for help just so that they can do their job. So here's your challenge for this week. Test one digital tool your team uses regularly. Your website, your intranet, or some other random tool. Try navigating it with just your keyboard. Better yet, ask employees who use assistive technologies to give you feedback. Their insights based on lived experiences will tell you more than any checklist ever could. If you're ready to stop making digital accessibility an afterthought, hit subscribe and join me for more insights on inclusive leadership. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.